platforms. Right now we streaming a mixture, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and
It's different now. Everything's changed. Yeah. I did it all on my own. I can see your hate, the look on your face.
Once again,
notice me when I'm gone. Every time they try to take me out and push me out and leave me out,
by the way, I can't tell if anybody's watching or not. Platform. So I'm gonna go as always. This time we're gonna finish this song.
Became an artist on my own, soon to be a legend. Everyone told me to stop and thought that I would learn my lesson. They said stop chasing dreams. They only come when you rested, but this dream will never come until I put my best in. Breath in, chest out, close my ears.
My favorite song of all time.
Nobody on the stage as the music played, but back in reality,
mostly because it's some of my favorite people of all time.
Notice I was there. Now that I'm signed and I get paid to be at places, I feel like that's the right time to rub it in their faces. Hey, remember me, the kid who you left all alone?
So go ahead and type that in the chat so I can see
everything's changed and I did it all on my own.
Hey, this is gonna be a good one.
The look on your face, but you'll notice me when I'm gone. Every time they try to take me out and push me out and leave me out, they all thought they left me alone.
Retro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you dudes catch the hit on it. I'm high, I'm trying to find a cloud to sit on it. Mind for the pay, and y'all dudes put y'all head on it.
Yeah.
5 by the ounce, and y'all niggas put a hit on it. A nigga now, right? Black tea, now in on it. I know you niggas worry, cause I seen the Texas shit on it.
Probably more excited about this live. Any other one I've done so far. So we're gonna let it run. One more time.
It's different now. Everything's changed, and I did it all on my own. I can see your hate, the look on your face, but you'll notice me when I'm gone. Every time they try to take me out and push me out and leave me out, they all thought they left me alone. They pretend to not see me now, but I see when I'm gone.
Shout out to Retro, and Kiddo, aka Player One. That's one of my favorite tracks of all time. Probably recorded that 9 or 10 years ago. So first off, shout out to the Universe famous Omar Power Moves Adams. We in the building. Okay, so we're showing that somebody's on in Facebook, but not who. That's live though. So tonight we're gonna talk about something that absolutely transformed my life. Now, I first heard this quote from a guy named Ray Higdon, who's a multi-millionaire in the network marketing industry. And he actually originally heard this quote from Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith. Now, you may have heard of him from The Secret. He was actually the black dude with dreads. Now, he said that this quote is one of his favorite quotes of all time. I'm pretty sure you can guess what the quote is because it's already the title. But check this out. He said, "Pain pushes you until vision pulls you." You see, we got a lot of people out here in pain, being driven by their pain, running away from their pain, not realizing that the more powerful solution is to be pulled by their vision. Everybody has the ability to create a vision, and everybody has some sort of pain. Now, it's up to you to either choose to be a victim of the pain or be a victor of the vision. Now, so I was doing a little research. I was actually looking for the video that I initially heard the quote from Ray Higdon with. I couldn't find it, but I was able to find a video by this guy named Roger Rees. Now, in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, there's a concept called meta programs. And we have multiple meta programs. One of them is the thinker versus the doer. But the one that we're going to talk about tonight specifically is towards and away from motivation. So the pain is away from motivation, and the vision is towards motivation. So if you're taking notes, what you're going to want to do is create a T chart and then put away from versus towards, because I'm about to take some of the concepts and information from Roger Reese's video as examples and then kind of teach on those. Now, this is why I have the notepad. The first example of away from motivation is what you don't like. So you may not like your job. You may not like the way your spouse is treating you. You may not like the way your family is treating you. And you may be looking for a way to get away from that, to run away from that. That's the away from motivation. The towards motivation would be what you do like. So instead of focusing on what you don't want, what you don't like, you can focus on, you know what? I don't like the job that I have. So let me focus on having a fulfilling and successful career. Let me focus on having a purposeful and prosperous business. Now, the next one is what you don't want. You see, you may not want injustice in the world. You may not want all of these, shootings and mass murderers and negative energy being spread across the world right now. But instead of focusing on that and putting more energy towards that, you can focus on what you do want. How about focusing on peace? How about focusing on justice? Focusing on ways that we can change the world one person at a time. Certain groups, certain purposes, certain charities that you can create, and certain visions that you can create. Now, I believe it was in The Secret where they was talking about the difference between focusing on what you don't want and focusing on what you do want, because what you focus on, you receive. So if you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get more of that. Attention goes where energy flows. So when you focus on what you do want, you get more of that as well. So he was talking about Mother Teresa, and how Mother Teresa said she would never join the anti-violence rally or anti-gun rally. She said, now, if you have a peace rally, I would join that. Notice how she focused her energy and her attention on that specifically. Now, let me click something and see if I can check. Nah, it's not letting me swap through the chats because I know somebody probably typing something at this point. Now, the next one is what you can't do. You see, a lot of people walk around with this, oh, I can't do this. I can't be a speaker. I can't be an author. I can't be a good parent. I can't. Now, one of the greatest quotes of all time was, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't, they're both right, because it's the thinking that makes it so. So the vision and the towards motivation will be focusing on what you can do. You know what? I can speak. I can teach. I can love. I can inspire. I can be a powerful business person. I can be a purposeful employee. You know what I'm saying? No matter what your situation is, you can do what you can do. And it's up to you to decide what you can't, because when it comes to things that you can't do, it's all about learning. Now, there's actually 4 levels of learning. The first level is unconscious incompetence. You don't know that you don't know, or you don't know what you don't know. The second level is conscious incompetence. You learn a little something and you're like, you know what? I don't know about this. I don't know about that. And I don't know about these other things. But I can focus on growing and learning these things. The third level is conscious competence. And it's where you've learned it, but you may have to think about it. You may have to practice it a little bit. You may have to look at your notes just to get a full understanding of what it is. And then the fourth level, which is the level that we all should strive to and all should look to surpass, is unconscious competence. Is when you know it so well that it comes to you automatically. You know it so well that you don't even have to think about it. You know, that may be cooking, that may be tying your shoes, that may be driving your car, that may be doing the job that you particularly do, whether it's in an actual workplace environment or if it's in some type of business. You may be a coach or you may be a trainer. Excuse me. And it may have gotten to the point where you literally can coach people in your sleep. You can transform people in your sleep. Like it's not even effort anymore. See, you want to get to that level because me personally, I believe there's a level higher than that. And I learned this from Chris Howard. He talked about artistry. He said after mastery, there's artistry. You see, you could be a master at something and get to the point where you're not putting in any effort, and that's when it's time to become an artist. That's when it's time to put in even more effort, even more purposeful effort, so that you can do it in a way that you finesse it. You do it in a way that is fantastic. You do it in a way that's absolutely amazing, and you inspire the people around you. People watch you in awe. And we all have something that we're masters at that we can decide now to become artists. Artists. See, I would say, I don't know if artistful is a word because you know, masterful is a word, but we can become artists when it comes to these things. Now, the next away from motivation is anything that's threatening to you. So you may be in physical danger. Somebody may be beating your ass, to be honest. Somebody may be bullying you. Somebody or something may be on your mind and it's weighing you down. You see, if you focus on that and you give more energy to that, you're just increasing it. Now, if somebody's beating your ass or somebody's bullying you, it is now to focus on the possibilities, which is the towards motivation. You know what? There's a possibility that you can leave that relationship. There's a possibility that you can learn martial arts and beat the shit out of that bully. There's a possibility that, hey, you may want to tell the principal or tell your parents or anybody like that. And there's a possibility that you can overcome these negative thoughts and emotions by utilizing certain techniques like meditation, mindfulness, gratitude, and focusing on the things that go right in your life so that they can grow right in your life. Now, the next one was the avoidance of pain. Now, you know, you may have people who, you know, they may be overweight or they may be unhealthy or they may have aches and pains, you know, stiff body and just different things like that. And they may be in a place where they are running away from that. Now, I'm going to come back to this one once we finish the thing, and then I'll ask you which one do you think is more powerful. So instead of avoiding the pain, you can focus on being attracted to goals. So if you are overweight or out of shape or unhealthy, instead of focusing on running away from that, you can focus on, you know what, let me have a healthy being. Let me have a luxurious and vigorous, regenerative lifestyle that will allow me to melt and release the weight, melt and release the negative feelings and negative states when it comes to your health and your well-being, and have that be as a byproduct. Instead of having that be the goal, focus on having the positive lifestyle and then having that as the byproduct. You see, a lot of people come out of here and they say, you know what? When I'm successful, I'll be happy. When I have this car, I'll be happy. When I have this mate, I'll be happy. When I have this business booming, I'll be happy. They're not understanding that we go towards all of these things for happiness. So you're having success as a barrier to your happiness, not realizing that the success should be a byproduct. You should focus on feeling good now, feeling better now, focus on becoming happier, more powerful, more positive, more purposeful now. And then the success comes as a byproduct. The mate comes as a byproduct. The money comes as a byproduct, because it's not about what you do, it's about who you are. The opus is not about what you do, it's about the legacy of what you become. Now, the last one, the last away from motivation was complaining. We got just, oh my, so many entitled individuals out here that just straight complain about any and everything. They truly feel like the world should just serve them simply because they exist. And look, I gotta break it to you, fam. Nobody owes you shit. The only person that owes you is you. And you know how you fulfill that? You fulfill that by taking absolutely insane, inspired action on your purpose, your goals, your dreams, and your desires. You don't just take action. You don't just take inspired action. You take absolutely insane inspired action. It gets to the point where your heart set outweighs your mindset, because there may be a point where your mindset tells you to stop. There may be a point where your mindset discourages you. So that's when your heart set activates and it overrides anything that could ever stop you in any blocks. Now, the towards motivation is the last one, is the solutions. So focus on your solutions. That's it for the notes. Now we're just gonna go off the unconscious mind. Now, so I was gonna ask you which one is more powerful. And if you're typing in Facebook or any other platform, unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything. So I'll go back and check that out whenever I finish this live stream. Now, you've had a second to guess. Now, let me just tell you what the answer is. Away from motivation is absolutely weak and useless. The winner is towards motivation 100% of the time. And here's why. Let's go back to the whole weight loss example. Let's say you wanted to lose 20, 50, 100 pounds, and that was just your focus. So let's say you just go so hard and you say, you know what? I'm going to make this happen no matter. This is going to happen, and it's done. That's it, period. Okay, let's say you lose the 20, 50, or 100 pounds. Now what? You've hit your goal. You've accomplished what you set out. Where's your motivation now? You probably don't want to lose another 20, 50, or 100 pounds, or you'll be a stick figure, which is unhealthy once again. So let's talk about the towards motivation, which is leading a healthy lifestyle, leading a full and abundant lifestyle where you naturally work out, where you naturally meditate, where you naturally eat the right foods. You don't have to diet, you don't have to try it, you just live. See, a lot of people talk about leading by example, and that is one of the best forms of leadership. I used to believe that was the best form of leadership until I had an aha moment that truly was like a download. It was like, you know what? Why lead by example when you can lead by lifestyle? You see, anybody can lead by example. Anybody can guzzy up, so to speak, and portray a certain image for a certain period of time. But it takes a real one to lead by lifestyle, because Leading by example is like a snapshot, it's like a picture, it's a photo, it's an image and a point in time. But leading by lifestyle, excuse me, it's like a live stream, it's like a continuous video. It's like a slideshow. It's ongoing and non-stopping. Now, I gotta tell you, I don't necessarily want to do these lives. I don't necessarily, want to shoot videos. And I'm practically, frankly, terrified every time I press the record button. But you know what? I have to lead by lifestyle, by going and growing. I need to feel the fear and do it anyway in order to have courage. Have you ever seen the show Courage the Cowardly Dog? If you have not, here's your home play for the night. Watch an episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. It should be on YouTube or Nicktoons or whatever. Courage the Cowardly Dog is basically a show that I watched when I was a kid, and it was all about a dog that was really an absolute coward. He was terrified. Every single episode he was afraid. But episode, every episode, he had to live up to his name because the grandma or the grandpa, sometimes both of them, they got into some shit. And it got to the point, every single episode, where Courage had to feel the fear and do it anyway. And he had to move. He had to act. He had to be courageous, and he had to live to his name. Now, let me ask you, what are you running away from? And what can you transition into running towards? What's pushing you? What kind of pain has been pushing you that you can transition into vision pulling you? Because what you want wants you as much as you do, if not more, right now. So go ahead and watch Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was one of my favorite shows back in the day. And it's just so powerful. Watch it from the perspective of, you know what? Now is the time to be courageous. Now is the time to move. Now is the time to not take action, not take inspired action, but now is the time to take absolutely insane inspired action now. So, with that being said, shout out to the universe, fam, and expect wealth now and later. Like I said before, this is my first time using Restream. So hopefully when I end this stream, it doesn't delete it. And if it does, the ones who seen this, you were the ones who were meant to receive that message. Continue to remain a champion, fam, because that is your birthright.